theater kids. Welcome to Sweet Life of a Theater Kid with Kay and Liv. Kay and I have been talking recently about how most people don't know what the life of a theater kid is like and what exactly a theater kid is.
So, some background about us. Liv and I have been dedicated theater kids since we were very young. So, I started getting seriously into theater when I was about 8 years old. I started out at the Alto Studio for Performing Arts and did 11 productions there. In 2018, they closed down and opened up a new studio called Children's Theater of Southern Indiana, but I did not start doing shows there until 2020. In between that time, I did a couple of school performances and productions with other studios. I have done 3 EVSC summer musicals, which I loved, and plan on doing their summer musical in 2023. And I currently still do productions at Children's Theater of Southern Indiana. And I just started rehearsals for their production of Way Off Broadway Review, which is now my 22nd production overall.
For me, I started getting serious about theater around the age of 10. I did all my productions at school though, or with school-related organizations. I did Wizard of Oz, Lion King, Shrek, and Legally Blonde in my elementary and middle school years, along with musical theater dance classes and Broadway-bound classes for a couple of years. Once I got into high school, though, I started getting more serious since I decided that I wanted to do it as my main career. In high school so far, I have done Schoolhouse Rock the musical, Wiley and the Hairy Man, Clue on Stage, Percy Jackson the Lightning Thief the musical, and Footloose the musical with School and Children's Theater of Southern Indiana. I also did Cinderella and SpongeBob the musical with EVSC's Summer Musical Company, and I would like to do the next one coming up. I also student directed, as of now, 2 original plays written by students at my high school, one of them being written by me and my friends. And untheater related, I sang with the Evansville Philharmonic for a year and EVSC Honors Choir for 4 years, along with ISMA Solo and Ensemble and State ISMA competitions for 4 years, with winning 8 gold medals. I've never spent a single moment not thinking about theater or singing. Theater and singing has been my best friend and stress relief outlet for my whole life, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. Okay, so we went over our experiences as theater kids, but what about other people that have been doing it longer than us? Hello, thank you for doing this interview today. Can you please state your name, age, and years of experience?
My name is Riley Broshears. I am 17 years old, and I have been doing theater for almost 14 years of my life.
Now, to start off this interview, could you please give a brief description of your past experience in theater?
Theater has always been where I feel like I can express myself best. And I've done so many other things, like both baseball, football, and I've always felt like I really belong on the stage. Like, playing sports is fun and all, and having those teammates and that brotherhood and that connection is great, but there's just something about the relationship that a cast has together that's unmatched by anything.
So it definitely sounds like you've been pretty busy in theater. So since you've done a lot of shows, what would you say is your funniest theater moment?
Funniest and probably also most embarrassing. My freshman year, while we were doing Big Fish, we had a big sign that I sat behind because my character got launched out of a cannon. And so we dropped a dummy out of the catwalk. And the dummy fell down, hit the sign, and this big wooden sign landed on top of me and fell on top of me. And I had to crawl out underneath it and pretend like nothing happened. And, yeah, probably my funniest moment, looking back on it.
Well, that definitely seems like it would be an interesting moment on the stage. So, since you've been in plays and musicals, what would you say is harder to do, a play or a musical?
In my opinion, I feel like it's a lot harder to be in a musical because everything that you would need to do a play is required in a musical and then some. Like, in a play, all that's really necessary is acting skills, but in a musical, so much is dependent on dance and singing ability as well. And that also goes into the production process, having to learn those songs and dances. So I feel like a musical is definitely harder.
Yes, I would definitely have to agree with you on that. So another question I would like to ask you is, do you think that directors play a big part in the lives of aspiring teenage actors?
I think absolutely. Directors are so vital to providing opportunities to being on stage and really exposing actors to lessons about being on stage and just helping actors grow and perfect their craft, especially those looking to go on to the next level.
So, since you are an aspiring teenage actor, what would you say motivates you to do the best you can in theater?
What motivates me to be the best I can be in theater is the audience, really. Like wanting to convey that message and really tell the story to make the audience feel something and to really convey the emotions that a character is going through and become that character so that you can tell a realistic and entertaining story for the audience.
So, why did you end up choosing theater as your career path?
Looking back, I looked for every opportunity to not have to choose theater as my career path because I knew it was going to be risky, and I knew there's a lot of competition and a lot of talent across the United States. But I couldn't find a reason to give up performing. I couldn't take myself off of the stage, and really it's just my love of theater that keeps me going, keeps pushing me to be better, and keeps motivating me through this vigorous audition process.
Since theater is your chosen career path, what would you say is your dream goal in theater?
My dream goal is not necessarily to be on Broadway, but to create a sustainable, long-lasting career in musical theater where I can perform venues, maybe a national tour, a cruise ship, a theme park, and do it to where I can feel comfortable doing theater as my career without having to do a bunch of other things to make my means. So just being able to do theater for the rest of my life and having that be my full-time job. That is my goal.
Yes, that's definitely a good goal to have when you've chosen theater as your career path. So, why should other people choose this career path?
I think someone should choose this as their career path just because it's impressive. It's hard and you really have to embrace the challenge, but there's something so beautiful about it, and it's so diverse. Anybody can be anything on stage, and people from all different races, ethnicities, sexual orientations can find a place on stage and really just be themselves.
Well, that's all the questions we have for you today, but thank you for your time and giving us the insight of another fellow theater kid.
Thank you so much for having me.
Now, what about the parents? The mom and dad editors who manage their busy child's hectic schedules and drive them from one rehearsal to the other. Hello, and thank you for doing this interview with me today. Could you please state your name and years of experience?
Yes, my name is Mr. Jason Broshears. I'm the drama director at Central High School currently, and I have been associated with their theater program for 13 years, and as a director or technical director. And I also directed some plays and musicals early on in my career for Mater Dei High School. So I've been involved in the theater for approximately 20 years.
What is it like for you to be a parent of a theater kid?
Well, it's a really interesting question because I actually play two roles. I'm the parent of a theater kid, but I've also been a theater kid's director for years. So the two roles are a little bit different, right? Being the director of a theater kid is different because you're still trying to be a parent, but you're the director as well, and you're having to give critiques, and that can be difficult sometimes. But I do love being the parent of a theater kid because I think it's just a great experience, right? I love seeing my kid on stage. I love seeing them do the things that they love to do. So being a parent of a theater kid has been a really, really rewarding and interesting experience.
Okay, so my next question for you is, are you proud to be a parent of a theater kid?
I am proud to be the parent of a theater kid. I actually have two theater kids, and I'm proud to be a parent of two theater kids. It's, again, such a rewarding experience, and I love the theater. So to see my kids up on the stage or backstage doing the things that they love to do is a really cool experience for me. It makes me very proud, and I hope to continue to have that experience as a theater parent as the kids get older.
How has your experience been difficult or stressful?
Well, the stress comes from just knowing how much time it takes to be successful in the theater. All the rehearsals, auditions, waiting to hear if you got roles. You know, you feel that stress just like your kids do. And I think sometimes as a parent, it's even more so because you're trying to prepare for the difficulty of, taking care of their wounds if they don't get the role they want or if things aren't going well. And I think sometimes preparing for that might be more stressful than waiting to hear if you got the role or not. So it is stressful. And again, because I'm a director, there's extra added stress there because you know that once a show starts, you have that extra added piece of directing your kids and trying to balance giving them critiques with being a parent.
Were you ever into theater growing up?
Yes, I did theater in high school. Saw my first live theater experience with my mom when I was in the 8th grade. Went to see the very first summer musical, The Music Man. Fell in love with it then and have been a theater geek ever since. I was on stage for 4 years in high school, and now I've directed for 15, 16 years. And the theater is a part of my life for sure, and a part of our family's lives, which is why I'm the parent of a theater kid or theater kids. Because it's so important to us.
Okay, I have one more question for you. Do you enjoy going to all of your kids' productions?
Absolutely. There's nothing I like more, and we treat productions like athletic events. If my sons are in a show, we go to every performance because we know that live theater is so different. Each night, you're going to see different things, different nuances. I love the fact that the theater community in Evansville is so strong, and so when we go to theater productions, we see a lot of the same people. We get to reconnect with people that we don't see all the time. And because I enjoy live theater, it's just fun to go and watch kids perform, and especially my kids. I love to see them on stage doing the things that they love to do.
Well, that's all the questions we have for you today, but thank you so much for giving us your time and giving us the insight of what it's like to be the parent of a theater kid. According to most stereotypes, people believe that every theater kid's favorite musical is either Hamilton, Wicked, or Beetlejuice. While those are some musical masterpieces, those aren't every theater kid's favorite musical. Liv, what's your favorite musical?
Well, I guess my favorite musical is probably Dear Evan Hansen or Six. I love the amazing talent showcased in these productions, and the messages portrayed are so moving. What about you?
My favorite musical would have to be Legally Blonde the musical or The Greatest Showman, because both of these musicals are very empowering and they're both about overcoming hurdles.
Yeah, we know that almost every theater kid has a favorite musical, right? But what about other people? Are there many people who actually watch musicals yet don't participate in theater?
Seth. Hi. Are you a theater kid?
Why would you associate me?
Do you?
Allegedly!
You were literally in a play set.
Surprise!
You were one of the main characters.
Seth, answer my question for my box pop. Thank you.
No!
Do you watch musicals?
No! No.
Okay, thank you. Hello. Are you a theater kid?
No.
Do you watch musicals?
No.
All right, thank you. Are you a theater kid?
Yes,
Do you watch musicals?
occasionally. Very, very rarely, though.
Thank you. Hi. Hello. Hi. Are you a theater kid?
No.
Do you watch musicals?
No.
All right, thank you. Hi. Are you a theater kid?
No.
Do you watch musicals?
No.
All right, thank you. Hello.
Hello.
Are you a theater kid?
Kind of. Not as much as y'all.
Do you watch musicals?
Sometimes, yes.
Thank you.
I recently watched the Anastasia musical on YouTube. So,
Fun. Thank you.
I'm gonna walk straight up.
Hey, Avery. Are you a theater kid?
No, never will be. Please walk away.
Do you watch musicals?
I've watched a couple, yeah.
Thank you.
There are many stereotypes out there for theater kids, aren't there, Kay?
Yes, especially about how we act. Actually, I just looked up on Google what a theater kid is like, and it said this. These are Broadway-obsessed kids who sing songs as they skip through the hallways of the school, and they know every line of every musical ever, and they will make references whenever possible.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of do that. So, do people actually think this about theater kids, though? We asked people with no prior theater experience what they would describe a theater kid as, and this is what they said. Hey, Sullivan, how would you describe a theater kid?
Artistic?
Thank you for your response. Thank you.
I think theater's cool and there's some cool aspects, but by and large, some theater kids are just a little over the top and annoying.
Ah, okay. So, who would you say is over top and annoying?
You?
It's just like all of them, they have random outbursts if they like hear a line from a musical, then they just start singing and for no reason, even though like something serious could be happening. Yeah.
Not wrong, not wrong, not wrong. Thank you for your input. Thank you for your input.
Thank you.
Hey, Nick, how would you describe a theater kid?
Egocentric.
Egocentric? Why would you say that?
I don't know. They always just kind of think about themselves and never think about like other people around them or their own decibel levels.
Their decibel levels? Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. Thank you for your response.
You're welcome.
Hey, Maya, we got a question for you. How would you describe a theater kid?
Loud, very I don't know what's very charismatic. Theater kids are. I mean, sometimes annoying, but depends. Depends on the kid.
Thank you. How would you describe a theater kid?
Loud, obnoxious. Trust me, I would know.
Yeah, you just described yourself, didn't you? Hey, John, what would you describe a theater kid as?
Man, you want the truth, or do you want like the truth?
Yeah.
Well, I think they're just a bunch of outcasts. No, I'm just joking. No, I think they're just a bunch of weirdos.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
funny, quirky guys.
Okay. Hey, Jacob. How would you describe a theater kid?
Fun, cool to hang. Some kids are cool to hang out with. Some can be a little obnoxious, and that's about it.
Hey, Graceland. How would you describe a theater kid?
Dirty, smelly, nasty. I can't be mean.
No, be honest. Be honest.
Okay. Well, okay. From my personal experience, every theater kid. Well, I don't want to say every because most theater kids that I've met do tend to be pretty annoying and just they're always. I feel like they're always pretty nice, but they're also annoying, and it's just always singing. Oh, that's my thing. It's just. Please don't sing in class, please. It's just so annoying, please. But I mean, they're nice. I don't really have a whole lot of opinion on them other than just don't sing in class, please.
Okay, we'll get that message out there. Yeah. Okay. Hey, Charles. How would you describe a theater kid?
Gabe.
Is that all you gotta say? Yeah, okay. Thank you for your time. Hey, Avon, how would you describe a theater kid?
Very theatric.
Original.
Mm-hmm.
Is that all you gotta say?
I don't know. What else do you want me to say?
What is your opinion? What do you think they're like?
So, based on my opinion, they're very outgoing. They talk a lot. And they like to act, I guess.
Okay, yeah. Thank you for your time.
So a lot of people definitely think that theater kids are, let's say, unique. So then why do people want or like to be theater kids? What would you say, Liv? What made you get into theater?
Well, what inspired me to get into theater was my love for music. I started off as a dedicated choir kid, and I did talent shows and things like that. But my theater kid era didn't truly start until I did my first musical, The Wizard of Oz. It made me really fall in love with the stage and the production process. What about you, Kay?
Yeah, it's the same for me. I always loved singing and performing in front of people. I did my first show when I was about 8 years old, and that show was Honk Jr., and it really opened my eyes to the world of theater and made me develop my love for the art of musical theater.
So we've both been doing theater for a long time and started off in about the same path. I remember this one time in church, I used to do a lot of performances for like Christmas, and I was an angel, and we were supposed to be singing about a crooked king, and I missed my solo because I was too busy making fun of the guy playing the king and pretending that we were in an argument. I may have missed my solo, but hey, the audience loves me. I also remember this one time when I was taking a musical theater dance class, and I played the genie from Aladdin, and we were doing our performance of Friend Like Me, and I accidentally kicked the lamp across the stage. And yeah, I went into the audience. But Kay, have you had any funny experiences like that in theater?
Yes, I do. I remember when I was doing Winnie the Pooh, and my friend and I were in the bathroom talking about some really crazy stuff. And I did not realize our mics were on, so everybody sitting in the audience heard us say, "I have to poop." And we walked out of the bathroom, and everyone was laughing, and we didn't know why.
That's very interesting. So I know everyone's younger selves are usually what motivates them to do better. And I feel like for most theater kids, this is also true. Like, I know that when I feel unmotivated, I think about how far I've come and how bad younger me wanted to do theater her whole life. So what do you think about that, Kay? Do you feel the same?
Yeah, I totally agree. I like looking back at younger me and seeing how much I improved acting and vocal-wise. I think what motivates me the most is knowing that I've made progress and that my hard work has paid off. Like, I've always wanted to be a performer for a very long time, and it helps thinking that younger me would be very proud.
Yeah, that's a really good mindset to have, especially as a theater kid. Because of our busy schedules and the competition between actors, it's really easy to start comparing yourself to others and to doubt your ability. I know for me personally, I have a consistently crazy schedule, and the stress from that and trying to stay motivated and confident, it's really hard, especially as a teenager in high school.
Yeah, for me, it's trying to balance theater and school at the same time that's been hard. Sometimes I don't always have the time to go straight home and do homework assignments and things like that because I have to be at rehearsal like right after school. So some days I would have to try to complete all my assignments or class or stay up really late at night.
Yeah, that's how it is for me too. Especially recently when I was in 2 productions at the same time, one being a musical and the other a play. I mean, you would know, you were in the musical with me. And the show weeks were one after another. I had to do my homework in class or go to tutoring after school to get it done without it becoming late. And I live 30 minutes away from all the places I did productions at, so I didn't get home till about 10 o'clock sometimes and didn't go to bed till 12, 1 in the morning. If I had to do homework and take a shower so my hair would be ready for dress rehearsal, that would make it even later. This one week, I spent 4 days at my grandma's house that lived around where I did productions at, and we did that so that I could be closer to my rehearsals so we didn't have to drive as much.
Yeah, that's a part of theater kid syndrome.
Isn't that the truth?
Wait, we should probably explain. Every day, thousands of theater kids are affected by this addiction.
The late night rehearsals,
the sleep deprivation,
the countless number of musical songs stuck in your head,
the post-production depression.
These are all symptoms of
theater kid syndrome.
Syndrome. Don't worry. Another audition will be coming soon to cure you.
Yeah, theater kid syndrome is no joke. It hits really hard after a production is over.
That's why a lot of theater kids are always so busy. You never want to not be in a show, so you do audition after audition, even if it means having no free time because, I mean, who wants to have free time when you could be singing and dancing as a whole different person in a fictional world?
Exactly. I mean, that's what being a theater kid is all about. It's about being able to transform into an entire different person and portray the story of musical theater to the audience through the emotion of singing and dancing.
Exactly. That's why we're all so emotionally attached to shows, because it's almost like a second life on the stage. The life of a theater kid is truly a magical one.
That's completely true. Theater is a magical place to be.
Well, theater kids, that's all for today, but make sure to stay tuned for episode 2 and all that jazz. If you know, you know. There are many stereotypes.
So then, why do people want or like to do theater kids? What would you say, Liv? What made you get